Welcome to Health Matters. Today we're here with Della Ferguson from W.J. Jones and Sons Family Resource Center about supporting those who are grieving. In your work with the bereaved, what have you learned that they need when they're grieving?
Well, you know, Donna, thank you. This is such an important topic, and our community has experienced so many losses of late, and I think it's so important that we as a community recognize how we can come up beside them and companion them through their loss. And so one of the first things they need is just the gift of our presence. You know, sometimes we think, oh, what do I say? You know, and the more important thing is just being there with them. We don't have to have words. And in fact, in the beginning, there are no words. There is no magic word that will leave them feeling better. And so let go of the need to have the right words and just be there. You know, to walk up and even they say, even if you just touch their arm and give them that nod, don't avoid them. Give them the gift of their presence. I had one gentleman that said, you know, the best gift this person gave them was they came and they just sat with me and we watched a movie together. Didn't say a word really, but just were there present. The gift of our presence is huge. Then they don't feel that they're alone and isolated. They need our ears. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so use them proportionately, right? Listen. And so it's not for me to have all the answers, it's for them to share with you how they're doing, right? If they feel safe with you, just listen. Listen to what they have to say. Be fully present to what they're saying and encourage that conversation without detracting them, without identifying with them and telling them about someone else's issue. Be present and listen fully to them. Encourage them. It's a time when they're feeling a loss of confidence. And so they question themselves, they doubt themselves, and so just to encourage and believe in them is a really big thing. They need help with day-to-day chores. You know, their energy is diminished. 85% of their energy is going to grieving and adjusting to this reality or busy with the busy work. And so little day-to-day chores or what are things you can do? If it's a child who's grieving, what could you do for them? You could play with them, because the adults in their life maybe aren't able to give them their full attention at this time. If it's a teen, you know, maybe you could support them with their homework, because the fact is they can't think as clear as they could before, and so they're mind gapping. So maybe they need some extra support in that area. If it's a young parent, gosh, they probably need help with time with the children. Maybe you could babysit the children, or maybe you could do laundry or do up the dishes for them. If it's a middle-aged adult, maybe they could use some snow shoveling or some lawn mowing. And if it's a senior, then you know, maybe picking up groceries for them. There's so many just day-to-day chores that they don't have energy to do. Going out in public takes a lot more energy. So those are helpful little things that we who aren't in the height of a grief experience could have the energy to help them with. They need to feel a sense of having some control in their life. So it's really important that we who are supporting them aren't doing everything for them and deciding things for them. They need to just have someone to support them in their decisions. So for them to say, so for me as a supporter, so what would be the options? And we brainstorm options and they decide from those options. They just need support in making those decisions. They don't want people making decisions for them and taking their control away. They already feel out of control. So we need to support them in feeling a sense of control in some way in a life that's kind of gone chaotic on them. They need our empathy and not our sympathy. They want someone who will understand, not someone who's going to just feel sorry and pity them. And they need a sense of safety. And so they need people who aren't going to judge them, who aren't seeing them as a project, and who are just present to their pain without trying to take it away. Those are just some of the things that I've observed, that I'm hearing from them in the support circles, the support groups, and such.
Yeah, it's just those little things that we take for granted that we all do every day.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's simple. It's simple that anyone can do. That's the beauty. It isn't something you need to have a lot of training to know, just be there.
Just to listen in every way, in what things they do, the things they're saying, just listening.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So what are some of the tips about what to say or what not to say?
That's where sometimes we do trip up on the words that we have put out there. And so here's some of the things that they've asked. Things they do like to hear. I'm so sorry for your loss. I'm thinking of you. What is today like? Now, when we ask questions, we need to stand and be present to the answer. So often, say at the mall, we walk and we go, how are you? And we keep walking.
Yeah.
And you know what? That question just opens their heart up, and it's just bleeding there, and you've just walked away, or they're just not able to go to that place in a mall setting. So I suggest that you say, good to see you. When you see them out and about, good to see you. Let's not go into the how are you, unless you are a really connected to them close person, that they would feel safe there. Maybe something you can say is, oh, I remember the time, and to share with them a precious memory that you hold, because that is like music to their ears, to hear a memory and to hear a new dimension of something about their loved one that maybe they haven't heard before, right?
That's storytelling.
Oh, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. And it's saying, I can't imagine how this is for you. And so now we've opened up to hearing what it is for you, and not saying that I know. And so that kind of leads into the what not to say.
Yes.
Do not say, I know exactly how you feel. Even if you have had a very like loss, you don't know exactly. I don't know exactly how you feel, Donna. You don't know exactly how I feel. And so it's about being curious. I can't imagine. How does it feel, right? That's something that really upsets the bereaved. No, you don't know how I feel.
Yeah.
No. What not to say, anything that rationalizes the death. It's one thing if they say it, like if they say, God needed another angel, I smile and nod, right? But it's not for me to say to them, God needed another angel. That's so painful, but I needed them, right? They're in a better place. It's okay if they say that for themselves. It's not okay for me to tell them they're in a better place, because they're thinking, but I wanted them here, right? And so anything that rationalizes away their experience, instead of saying, call me if you need anything, because the fact is they don't have the energy or the confidence to call you. Say, I would like to come and mow your lawn. What would be a good day I could do that? Or I'm going out to the grocery store at noon. What could I pick up for you? You phone them and be specific. I've actually suggested to the bereaved, make a list of chores that you need doing, and then if somebody does call and say, what do you need? You can look at that and say, well, I've got this listed, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes they need help in even thinking that far. So offer, be specific on what you could offer them. It's helpful not to say, you're so strong, or, because right then they don't feel strong. They feel like the world has just been pulled out from underneath their feet, and they're feeling so vulnerable. And so just to leave that one out of the conversation, it just doesn't fit for them. Most importantly is again, listen more than you talk, and be curious, and not in an invasive way. Just the how are you, and be present to that question, or I'm just so sorry for your loss. Just those kind words.
Yeah. I know some people are reluctant to do that storytelling that you mentioned because they're afraid of the tears.
Ah, wonderful point. Tears, my definition, love turned liquid. That's all they are. And you know what? They're crying anyways. And I believe that when someone has just shared something that touches my heart, the tears come. Well, is that a bad thing? No, tears aren't bad, but you've just touched their heart with your message. And so, yeah, don't feel badly. Yeah.
So is there anything else you'd like to add?
Do you know what? I have this fabulous little book, Being There for Someone in Grief. And I really appreciate, there's a couple things I share with you. They've used an acronym for how to be supportive of another, the word SALT.
Oh, yeah.
S, see them. A, allow them. That's that be present and allow them to just purge and don't judge that. L, listen to them. And T, trust them. Within them, they have what they need. Their answers are lying within. Trust that. Be present to it, and maybe even be quiet with them so that they can touch into that. And within here, a beautiful little description that I'm going to read. Being deeply present. How do we love and care for another? There's many ways, but one way, one critical yet simple way, is to be deeply present to your loved ones so they can honestly express themselves and come to know who they are so they can flourish. Being deeply present means I am nowhere but here. I offer my unhurried attention. I listen to you. I see you. I accept you. I have faith in your wholeness. In this moment, I'm not forced on myself or focused on myself. I am not shifting the conversation to me. I'm not thinking of how to fix you. I'm not projecting forward or remembering the past. I have no agenda. I am here for you. In this precious moment, I see you. If we can do that, we've given them everything they need.
I really like the acronym, and especially the T,
Yes.
the trust them.
Isn't that
People
great?
have their own answers. We just need to help them find them.
Exactly. Be present to that
Be present.
journey.
Yeah.
Right
Well,
on.
thank you very much, Della.
Thank
That's
you.
such good information. And thank you for watching Health Matters.